I'm gonna create a nightmare for myself to edit out later, but this will be fun. Another fresh and exciting YouTube video about food from me. Let's go. I tried CookUnity as a vegetarian for like a month, and it was pretty good, I think. In case you wanted to know, is CookUnity good for vegetarians? Short answer, yeah. So I'm just gonna get right into the figurative meat and potatoes of this video. I wanted to talk about a few things before I forgot them, because I surely would. There were a couple dishes that I ordered but didn't get to eat. Yeah, the cheesy butternut lasagna I didn't get to try, I think because I ran out of time. The mushroom cavatelli is still in my fridge and I need to throw it away. It's past its prime, but we've been interrupted, I'm so sorry. Rory, do you want to do this video with me? Okay, so mushroom ragu and polenta cakes. I love mushrooms, and this tasted like cream of mushroom soup. You know, the Campbell's cans. They were a childhood staple for me, so this was great. I wrote, yum, amongst other things. Polenta is just kind of meh, bland, okay. Not bad, etc., but it acts as a sponge for the salty sauce, so like, nice. 8 out of 10. Quote, I heart cremini. How embarrassing is that? The fact that I write these notes to myself and I trust my later self to filter them out and put them into better words in front of a camera, and I don't do that at all. Anyway, next up, from my notes. I was nervous about trying this moussaka because I've always wanted to try a vegetarian version since I was a teenager, but this one only had like 3 out of 5 stars online on the ratings, so I was sort of taken aback by that. But as I quote, I'm gonna eat this whole thing. It's sweet and savory and I like it. 8.5 out of 10. I don't think I've given anything a 10 out of 10, but this service actually kind of feels like restaurant quality. I went to some detail here. Seasoning interesting. Nutmeg or allspice perhaps? Not what I'm used to, but I like it. Maybe it's a little much in the sauce, but it's easily scraped off to the side. And again, I ate the whole moussaka and would eat it again, so let me just shut up. I wrote that actually, yeah.
Let's get the verdict.
Let's get the verdict.
Let's get the verdict.
Oh, that's fine. That's actually nice. I feel like people were hard on this, but this is actually pretty good.
Guys, I think we nailed it. Every single
word.
Yeah, every single one.
On May 18th, 2024 at 8:32 p.m. I made this and it was amazing.
Update the following week. Quote, bad news bears. I got the vegetarian moussaka again and it's fine, I guess, but not poppin'. I think it had more oomph the first time. There's a lot more spinach and potato than I remember, and the texture just isn't working for me. It gets a 7 at best this time. There's too much spinach with a heavy essence of canned salt. Does the recipe vary? Is that the market vegetable of it all? Seasonal ingredients? Or am I crazy? It continues, and I quote, yeah, no, I didn't see a whole lot of eggplant and I would like to see more, heartbreak emoji. This one absolutely needs a bit longer in the microwave. 3 full minutes or else. My hopes were so high from last time, I could have given it a 5 or 6 the way I felt, all caps, let down. But I'll bonk it down to a 7 because the first one was still good and I believe in the potential of the dish. Try not to let my emotions get the best of me here, y'all. This is how I take my notes. Next up, Cuban portobellos by Chef Herrera. Notes just say, very good. See video, spice builds up, but not hard to handle. 8.5, and here I'm gonna paste this video. Check out the mushrooms. Whoa. Like, not splash mushroom juice all over myself. That's a generous amount of mushrooms. Thank you. I thought I didn't like the texture of the lentils, but it's really growing on me, y'all. It's growing on me. I actually might say 9 out of 10 because this is just very good. JG's signature mac and cheese. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mid. I have to say mid. It was bland. I feel like the breadcrumbs just kind of took away all the flavor weirdly. They like absorbed all the seasoning into the flavor of bread, and it was just not. I'm sorry. I had to add my own salt and pepper, and it would be okay as a side, but it's not really like a main dish for me in a perfect world. I wrote also that the breadcrumbs absorbed the cheese and I felt like it needed some slip. You know what I mean? Like texture wise, it was kind of dry. I'm still eating it, but it's a 7 out of 10 at best, sorry. Rigatoni with fresh burrata by Chef Fabio. The first time I had it was just me for lunch one day, and I thought it was awesome. I stupidly microwaved the burrata. I don't think I read the instructions correctly at all, and microwaved fresh burrata. Girl, who does that but me, apparently. And it reminded me of those take-home meals from Olive Garden, you know, when you would buy one and take an entree with you. It would be like, it reminded me of those pasta dishes. And I really like Olive Garden. Don't come for Olive Garden. So I thought it was really good for it being a pre-prepared packaged pasta dish. The next time I went to heat up this rigatoni dish, I shared half of it with my partner, and he really liked it. Here's the bad news. So this most recent time that I prepared it for my partner, it had blue cheese that wasn't supposed to be blue. And yeah, I'm not gonna say it caused food poisoning, but like, it's the mushroom quesadilla. It was good, very good, because I love mushroom quesadillas, and it had a good amount of spice. The sauce had a good tang to it. I really liked it. It was a bit soggy, but at the point that I was first eating it, I remembered this night pretty well. I noticed the sort of sogginess problem was more prominent. I'm starting to become a sour cream girly, so that's cool. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Overall, based on these 2 times that I've had the quesadilla, I'm gonna give it, I still want to give it an 8 out of 10, because the sogginess is not really the chef's fault. It's like the nature of buying these pre-prepared foods. Sorry, did I say week 2? I meant week 3. It came back around. I had it weeks 1 and 3. So the 2 times that I had this mushroom quesadilla over 3 weeks, I'm going to say it averaged out to an 8 out of 10, which is pretty good, and I'll probably keep it in rotation. Next up is the butternut squash steaks with farro salad and Greek yogurt by Chef Vincent Gerard. I wrote the whole title down. I remembered that time. Come here. Come on. We're gonna do YouTube together, baby boy. We're gonna be famous. We're gonna be on the internet forever. Together. Mwah. I shouldn't kiss your flame medicine. Oh my god. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, good thing I didn't actually ingest that. Cut. Next up is the butternut squash steaks with farro salad and Greek yogurt by Chef Vincent Gerard. It was interesting how meaty this squash tasted at first. Like, the seasonings made it so rich and smoky. I was really surprised. I'm usually not crazy about farro, things in that sort of texture category, if you will, or plain Greek yogurt. But I wrote, quote, "It is a decent meal and all the flavors work together well. I can tell this is a me issue affecting the rating, but I'm working through it. Go there with me now, okay?" I definitely like the squash and edamame. I even liked the little raisins I thought would be offensive to my sensibilities. I'm learning to love the chew of the farro. 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8 because I'm also hungry. 8 out of 10. Even though it's made of ingredients I usually don't think to eat, it's still a really well-balanced dish, and I've weirdly come around to liking it after the little adventure it took me on. Enjoyed it to the same level I enjoyed the mushroom polenta dish yesterday. Update. Tried it a second time, and it grew on me more. The squash is squashing. I wrote that in my notes right there. The squash is squashing. The golden raisins and edamame, question mark, make a lot of sense now, and I'd even like some more to really perfect this. 8.5, probably 9. So I wrote down in real time the changes I was going through in my mind. Zucchini fritters with spinach rice pilaf and herb dill yogurt sauce. Okay, I love an herb dill yogurt sauce. I already knew this was gonna be great. Like, who doesn't love a fritter? I'm from the South. Fritters are awesome. But these fritters were not the type of fritters I thought they were gonna be, but they were still really good, but in a different, wetter way. The summary, 8 out of 10. Texture is a little odd, but I like what they've got going on. I made a video about it, so I'm gonna insert that here.
Interesting. Tastes really nostalgic, like, I don't know, I feel like I had this once in the past, but I don't think I've ever eaten this before. It's good, and I don't normally like spinach, so this is weird. And are those Kalamata olives? Oh boy. They are. Those are Kalamata olives. Yeah, I like this dish.
Next up is a personal favorite, the eggplant parm. It needed to be good, and it delivered. So good that I forgot to write down all the details, but I will be inserting them here. As for the side of the broccolini, I found that I kind of liked the stems more than the florets, but they had like a sourness to them. I couldn't tell if it was like the seasoning, like a lemon juice. It just wasn't my favorite thing, but the entree was exactly what I needed it to be. So I would say overall 8 out of 10. Did I already say not my favorite pairings? Yeah, I would have maybe picked a different side, but like, I also really like broccolini, so I can't say I blame you. I get it, but yeah, 8 out of 10. Ooh, this one's the first cold meal I had. Chilled peanut soba noodles with tofu. I did not love this one. Red cabbage is just one of my least favorites. I know this dish is for somebody, but it's not for me. Okay, I don't want to talk smack about the chef because I know this dish is perfect for somebody. I just personally can't really tolerate the bitterness of that much cabbage. Red cabbage specifically. I've got enough bitterness in my life. Please, thank you. I'm sorry. We're good. I mean, I liked the noodles. The tofu was hard to chew, but I didn't hate it. And like, I don't think a peanut sauce is ever bad. So like, the elements of this dish could work. This just wasn't the right ratio for my personal taste. So I don't want to be too hard on it, but I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. Okay? That feels fair. New CookUnity week. Cavatappi alla norma. Honestly, a little bland to me, but with the pasta, cheese, and eggplant, it's hard to give that less than an 8, but I had to add my own salt and pepper to bring it up to an 8. I don't want Norma to know. I wrote that I would have loved more eggplant pieces. Quote, that shape is delectable, but there's not nearly enough eggplant for me. Maybe a 7, because I had to add a little something and it's just not hitting like the other pasta I had. Can we say 7.5? Like, let's reason here, like 7.5, because I remember that eggplant being really good. Don't make it weird. Impossible burrito bowl. Quote, decent, not bad, not insane, very middle of the road. 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Nothing groundbreaking. It is what it is. Meh. But I'm thinking that since I gave the cold noodles a 7 out of 10, I would for sure need to give this a 7.5 out of 10. And then having given the cavatappi also a 7.5 out of 10, I would say they were about, like, yeah, that's fair. They both had really good elements, but they didn't take it over the threshold, if you will. At least not for my personal tastes. I feel really bad saying that, but like, if I'm being a flavor critic, if I'm being picky. My fiance really liked the lasagna and actually wished there was more. So for all you meat eaters out there, lasagna. We had the chicken katsu the other night. I say we because I ate the broccolini and some of the rice and the sauce, and he ate the chicken and some rice. And it ended up working out pretty well. We didn't really give those ratings. I mean, he was understandably hesitant to resume eating CookUnity after having a bad experience, i.e., poisoned, briefly. I think these have a slightly shorter shelf life than Factor. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put them in the freezer because I feel bad throwing them away now. I'm gonna wait an undisclosed amount of time, and then I'll be like, oh, it's time to probably throw these away. They're freezer burned. And then I feel slightly less bad, making it future me's problem. Don't know exactly how I feel about the ever-revolving menus because sometimes I just want to eat the same thing and keep it simple. Now that I feel like I've gone through the sampler period and tried a bunch of different ones, I think I've started to narrow down the ones I'll definitely be eating again. I will for sure be going for those butternut squash steaks again. Those were really awesome. And those stick out in my mind as probably like the healthiest, but also tastiest, most like balanced meal. I really felt good about myself and energetic and like the nutrients I was getting and all that stuff. So for whatever that's worth, there's that. I think that's all. I will probably make a follow-up. Sorry this took me so long. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Bye.